Everyone, hi, this is Shaman Durek, and I'm super excited to be here for this live to share my love with each and every one of you, to remind you how powerful and beautiful and amazing and extraordinary you are in your own right. That means that there are no carbon copies of you, and that's a good thing, you see, because it's important for you to be exactly who you are. It's important for you to see the power that lies within you and also for you to recognize that you can do anything and that you're unstoppable. It's also important for us at this time to acknowledge Women's International Day, but not as a day, but as a year. And a continuation of acknowledging women on this planet for everything that they give and support in raising consciousness, as well as standing and bringing life to a higher level. You see, there's so many people on the planet who still don't respect and honor the value and the wisdom and the wonderful energy that women bring on this planet and have brought for centuries of time and from the beginning of time. We have totally, completely misunderstood the value and importance of women on the planet. And it is such an honor to be able to hold space as a man to remind everyone that we must cherish the women on this planet because we men could not be who we are today if it wasn't for them. Not just the fact that they bring life, but also how much they bring in forms of wisdom and clarity and intuition, guidance and understanding, and as well as clearing energies that are no longer necessary on the planet. Honoring women and their wisdom is the greatest gift you can do for yourself and for the planet, and lifting up women, supporting them, their causes, and what brings them joy in this life only expands the joy for everyone on the planet. It's also very important for us to understand that as we understand and respect women, we also raise the vibrational frequency of the earth. The feminine energy doesn't just live in women, it also lives in men too. And the more we begin to embrace it, the more we begin to see the imbalances that take place on earth and be able to correct these imbalances together. This is not a male or female thing. This is a cooperation, a unity, a unified source of intelligence that has been seeking completion for a very long time. And the ability to bring these energies together, both within ourselves, our own masculine and feminine energy, as well as within lifting and understanding and listening. Oh, that's a good one, right? It's listening to women. We're at a time in our evolution where this imbalance has caused so much destruction because so many polarized people who are operating at a dysfunctional masculinity are operating in a field of fear and in the level of compassion that one could achieve because they don't understand the value and the quality that women bring to bringing the wholeness and the synergy and the energies together. And it is so important and so necessary in this time in our life that we open up our energies, our platforms, and ways to support women in the greatest way. And the greatest way we can do that is by standing up for women, honoring women, and standing up for everything that supports them until our planet becomes harmonized and balanced, until we create a coherence within the masculine and feminine, and we begin to understand the value and importance of women on the planet as a great aspect of our evolution, and understanding that that evolution cannot be achieved when we operate only from a masculine perspective. So I am happy to appreciate all the women in my life and all the women that I have met through friendships and through connections and Can you hear me now? Hello? That is so strange. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, great. And so it's really important that we honor the value and the sacredness that women offer and continue to hold that space. You know, having a wife like mine, as I was saying earlier, who's really helped me to really understand the depth and the clarity that women bring. I couldn't be the most happiest man in the world to be married to the most amazing woman in the world and having 3 beautiful bonus daughters who are powerful, insightful, creative, and innovative and courageous as I have. And I'm very grateful to be a bonus dad. I'm grateful to have an amazing wife that I get to see every single day and listen to her wisdom and her guidance and talk with her, meditate with her, walk with her, and love her. So I just wanted to share that with you. So I just want to say a prayer for all the women in the world. Mother and Father God, divine God, I am so honored and grateful for all the women, all the love that you have given us on this planet, to have so many powerful women on the planet who have been here and who are here now, to just bless them and protect them and to keep them safe, to continue to forward our passion and our purpose on this planet so that women feel safe to live on this planet, walk down the streets and know that they're okay because there's men out there in the world who are looking out for them, who see them more than just an objectification of who they are, but see them in the likeness of our Mother God, our Divine Mother. I am so grateful and thankful for the wisdom and the insight that women have brought me throughout my life. The friends and the women that I have in my life who have nurtured and cared for me in times that have been really dark and scary, and unfortunate to have such powerful women who are in my heart, my ear, and in my mind, giving me the solace and the wisdom and the comfort and the nurturing that I require. To have such beautiful, beautiful women on this planet. Thank you so much for making women in your image of our Mother, Father God. And thank you so much. And I ask now that all the angels and all the divine beings and masters and orishas and all of the spirits and spirits of nature and all those who are living in physical form and those who are not in physical form, that we continue to lift the veil of the tyranny and the hurt and the pain and the suffering that women have gone through, the lies and the deceptions, the words that have been thrown at them, the deceit and the vile gestures that have been made towards them, the objectification of them, treating them like they are just an idea, a fantasy or thought, but that they are more than those things, that they represent you, Mother God, you who has love and nurturing and care for all of your children. You, Father God, who holds the vibration field and the balance of Mother God, so that the whole divine aspect of unity and unification and coming together as one source of energy is complete. And that we continue to uphold this truth, this blessing for women continuously, that men wake up and realize the power and the wisdom and the potential and the intelligence that the Divine Mother brings forth to all women on the earth and all the feminine energy within men, that we heal the masculine and feminine wounding that has taken place on our earth, that has affected nature, affected life in itself. Thank you for bringing my wife into my life. And every day I get to wake up and make her life beautiful, ways that I can serve her and my daughters and my sisters, my nieces, and the women in my life, and the women that I come across, the women I speak to, if it be on social media or if it be out in public. Thank you for giving me that ability to be open in my heart to the divine feminine within myself, that I may be able to understand and gain clarity and wisdom from the voices of women that speak and share the things that I still do not know, and the things where I am growing to be a better man, a better person for humanity, to serve and support people in who they are, in their freedom, and in who they are, and their creativity and their expression, and the values and the understanding of protecting children and protecting women, protecting life, and honoring it at the highest level. As long as I have breath, I give my life, my love, and my spirit, and my everything to lifting and elevating humanity. And I am grateful for the women who are out there, who are not afraid, who are living courageously every single day, even when they have gone through so much pain, and words that were given to them that were not theirs to take, criticisms and vile gestures, and treating them like they don't matter. I ask you, beloved angels, beloved beings, that we see a time on earth, even after my death, that we see a time on earth where women are being cherished and honored and feel safe on this planet. That my daughters can walk on this planet with their children and feel safe. And that all women and all children can feel safe. I know this day will come, and it may not be in my lifetime, and it may be lifetimes that follow, but I know one day we shall see freedom and understanding and compassion and nurturing for the very lives that give us life, and for those lives that give us life, for the lives that they give. That they have everything supported and surrounded with them with love. That they are cocooned in this beautiful energy of divine principle. I am so grateful and thankful, and I ask for all protection for all women and children on the planet, and that men wake up and see the feminine in them and begin to feel safe in that space, and to be able to hold space for women and hold space for children and hold space for one another, so that we can bring the divide of masculine and feminine within ourselves together and create synergy, which has always been the truth of our Mother and Father God and the divine child God, which lives in each and every one of us. Our expression, our playfulness, our creativity, our bountiful spirits that seek to create and discover and explore and be curious. That we may continue to give to that flame of life, so that it may burn bright in the hearts of every person. Even those who have treated women with such disrespect will turn away from the iniquities and the painful things that they have done, both unto themselves because of their disrespect towards women, because of their unhandling, their way that they handle and acknowledge the beauty that women bring into this life. Children and families and communities that are built on taking care of each other, one another. Now, we're not alone, and we cannot do this alone. And we need every spirit and every being that's out there to support us on earth at this time. so that we can continue to turn away from the tyranny, the wars, and the lies and the deceptions and the things that want to take our mind and our energy away from us, our sovereignty and our authority of who we are within your love, Mother and Father God, so that we can be beings who walk the earth and ignite love and spirit for all people to see what is truly promised within our hearts is that the kingdom of heaven be here on earth, where all people's dreams of love and joy and happiness become fulfilled, and that we begin to see a world filled with love and compassion and kindness to all people, no matter what color or what sex or whatever it may be, no matter what culture or belief you come from. And so I say, raise women higher and higher. Give them the strength to wake up every single day, no matter how many painful, hurtful things have been done to them. Give them the strength to continue to rise and see the power that lies within them. The power that is theirs to have, that is their birthright from our Mother God, our Father God, and the divine principles that lie within us. I just wanted to say that prayer for all the women and children and for all the people on earth. It's important for me to speak the truth always and to give love always, and to always be the best that I can be for humanity. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all the women. Thank you to all the mothers and the sisters and the aunts, to all the women on the earth, for everything that you are and for everything that you do. And to all the men who are embracing their feminine energy as strength and harmony and balance and synergy, so that we can love people greater than what is even possible, to love greater than what love has been told to us to love, not with conditions or barriers or because of principles of what we deem to be lovable, but to love that of our Mother, Father God within each and every person, and to not be pulled into the Maya and into the suffering and into the pain and the hurt and into the deceit and into the things that want to take our attention away from what is important, which is you and me and us and all of us shining our light as powerful leaders, carrying the message of love forward, and asking the question, can we love greater than this? Oh. So I just wanted to open up with that prayer, and it's very deep in my soul and my being, and I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful, and I'm thankful for being alive at this time in evolution. I'm grateful to be here with each and every one of you, and that we chose to be here at this time, not because we're here to suffer, but because we're here to transform. We're here to raise the vibration. We're here to show people demonstrations of love and kindness and compassion and nurturing and showing up for each other. I think it's important for us. One of the things, I wanted to talk to you about is, what is one belief that you were taught growing up that you later discovered wasn't true. For me, I was told a lot when I was a kid from my stepmother that being a man of color, that people weren't going to love me, or being spiritual, being a shaman, that people were going to make fun of me and tear me apart and rip me down. And that was something that I was told. And I'm so happy that I was able to see that it wasn't true. It's an interesting thing about life. When people say nasty things to us or things that are not true in God's eyes of us, things that are not held in the principles of love, we take it on because we think, oh, how could this person say this to me? Why would this person do this to me? And so we carry their darkness in us through their words and their behaviors, because they did not take the time to do what was necessary for them to heal those behaviors and transform those behaviors and make those behaviors be something that they transform into higher levels of knowledge and wisdom. And so we take it on as these imprints, right? And we spend a great deal of our lives, a lot of people go in these cycles, right? And what happens is they go in these cycles that keeps people taking the suffering and pain that other people had not healed within themselves into themselves as truth. And I tell you this, there's nothing that has ever been said to you unless it's come from pure love, not love of you have to do something in order to be loved, or you have to achieve something to be loved, or you have to meet some rules in order to be loved, but love because you are lovable and you exist because you were created by our Mother, Father, God. And that whatever your heart desires and whatever your passions are and whatever makes you feel loved and supported is honored and cherished and valued among all things. Because this is your life. And no one has a right to imprint you with their own pain of their unfinished energy that they have not taken responsibility or accountability for and projected onto you. You do not have to take it. You do not have to take ownership of it anymore. We don't have to live in the past. It's time to be present in the moment. And in this moment, you get to decide that you are worthy of love. You are more than worthy of love. You are love. You are an ambassador of love. You are every cell and everything that represents love at its highest level. And that you could never, ever, ever make your Mother and Father God see you any different than from the eyes of pure love. And if other people cannot see that or speak that truth or say those things to you, that's because they themselves cannot say it to themselves. And we have to understand that there's a lot of hurt people on the planet, a lot of people who are going through a lot of suffering. And it's unfortunate that those people choose to lash out in those ways and act in those ways and attack people and say mean things and act outside of their character of who they really are. And you don't have anything to prove to those people. You don't need anyone's approval. You already have your Mother and Father God's approval. And it stops here. To approve anything from anyone is a waste of time when you've already been given that from your Mother and Father God. And I know that you're more than anyone has ever told you. I remember growing up having people tell me horrible things about myself and how it would hurt me. And I realized the only reason why it hurt me was because I believed it, because I took the energy from someone who was broken and hurt themselves. I carried their burden that they themselves has not chosen to heal or transform. And when I realize that those things have nothing to do with me, and I get to say who I am, I get to claim who I am, I get to reclaim my sovereignty, my authority of what I represent to myself, to my family, to my community. And so do you. So do you. So I want to bring some people on stage. I'll do some random selections to see who wants to come on stage. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear how you're feeling, what's transpiring in your life, and if there's any way I can support you, I'm here for you. And I love you because there's a lot of people who are in pain, and we don't need to go through that when there's so many beautiful people on the planet who wake up every single day, who are seeking and discovering that there's more than the pain that we feel if we just open ourselves up. So I'm going to go ahead and bring someone up on stage, and let's just see. Place of grace. And thank you. Thank you for showing up here on my page. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, support you, and honor you as a powerful lit leader. Hello, brother.
Hey, Shaman Durek.
How can I support you, my love? How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling heavy today. Um, we've done work before, um, and I'm just feeling some indecision in my life and some stagnancy, and so I'm looking for some clarity.
Okay. So first, let me just find out. I just want to have a conversation with some of the beings that are around you, supporting you. I'd like to talk to the being that supports his life and going in the ways that support love, joy, happiness, freedom, bliss, and prosperity. What has been some of the things that have been really difficult for him to shift in himself, that you have been assisting him with? Mm, I see. Hmm. Okay. Okay, let me come back to that. So what they said is that you go into what we call an abusive cycle with yourself, because you go into all the things that you feel you've made mistakes on, and you use that as like a kind of a beating, self-flagellation of the self. And so every time your being wants to rise up a bit higher, you start going into the past, in the past, in the past, in the past, in the past. And every time you go to the past, you go to the places where you are judging and condemning yourself for things, and in bringing that into your present moment, and then using that to bring you back down. And so what your being just said, what your the spirits that support you said, is that you have to stop going to the past. You
Mm.
have to remember every moment that you have in life is starts right now. And then again the next second, and then the next second, and then the next second. And so if you can just stay present in this moment, every moment, and in every moment, even if it's just telling yourself that you're amazing or doing something that makes you feel good, and you might fall off, that's okay. But when you fall off, instead of getting upset with yourself, how about just acknowledging that you fell off, and you just get back into that space again, into that alignment, right? And that's what Spirit is saying. Spirit is saying that you fall off, and then you start thinking, oh, here I go again, or oh, here
Mm.
I'm doing the same thing again, or I'm still making the same mistakes. I haven't changed yet, right? And that's not official, my love.
I'm laughing because it's just literally what I went through yesterday.
Right? And it's not even necessary, because every single thing you have gone through is exactly what you signed up for.
Hmm.
You cannot be the powerful being that you have come to be if you do not trip, fall, fumble, and tumble, right? And we have to stop using and looking at it as a mistake and start using it as a spiritual understanding of clarity for ourselves to understand, oh, I've chosen these things because I needed to understand what they felt like. I needed to understand what other people feel like. You're not the only person on the planet who has gone through the things you've gone through. But using it to beat up on yourself, no, use it to enrich yourself. Use it to remind yourself you're still here, man. We love you.
Yeah. So I have a question on that. So this is kind of the cycle, like you're saying. So I'm working on creative pursuits and things I want to head towards. I'll get excited and I'll start working and something will pop and I'll click and I'll be like, okay, oh yeah, I'm excited, I'm excited. And then the past will come up and it'll be like a memory of something, or there'll be like a feeling of some shame or some guilt or something in my gut that comes up almost as like a magnetic response to the excitement that I'm feeling in the movement and the direction I'm heading to. And
Right.
so my question is, do I process that, or I just be like, no, that's the past. I'm just going to keep going.
Don't have to process it. You don't have to process it. You just simply go, yeah, like I've been there and I experienced that. And I'm going to put that in my art. I'm going to put that in my creativity. You know, some of the greatest artists and creative people in the world took their pain, even myself, every single pain and every struggle and everything that I've gone through that was vile and disgusting and dark and whatever it may be, I use that and I take that and I go, I'm not going to judge this. I'm going to use this. And I'm going to take this ball of gook and muck and dirt and grime and everything, and I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna just turn it into a beautiful diamond. I'm gonna bring it into alchemy. I'm gonna turn this into medicine. I'm gonna turn this into teachings, into wisdom. I'm gonna turn this into art. I'm gonna turn this into movement. I'm gonna turn this into wisdom. But I'm not going to sit back and go, oh, yeah, yeah, the time I did drugs, God, I was a horrible person. No.
Yeah.
Yep. I signed up for that class. I
Hmm.
signed up for that class, and I signed up for that class and that class and that class and that class because all those classes makes me Shaman Durek. You're a powerful being.
Hmm.
What affects you is the dwelling that you're doing,
Hmm.
is sitting in it and judging it. You
Yeah.
gotta learn the art of non-judgment. You
And
gotta
trying
live
to excavate it.
life and stop judging yourself. Stop judging. Stop making things right and wrong. Stop trying to, like, I don't even do that with the world. I look at the world today, people say, oh, the world, look at what's happening, look what these people are doing, and I hear everyone talking, right? I know God has a plan. And that's all I focus on. People can do what they want on the grand stage of the Greek theater. Let them play out their characters. I've seen it through many lifetimes, and myself has also been involved in some of those lifetimes. And just let people play out what they want to do. But to judge people, to judge myself, how can I evolve if I'm going to judge myself? Evolution comes from making those choices that were, great to the greatest of your ability, and to doing things that you feel that you thought were not the best things. What if they were exactly what they were supposed to be? What if every single thing you went through is to make you the most powerful master that you can be? Because this is your life.
Hmm.
And there's only one of you in this embodiment, in this timeline. Doesn't mean you won't live other lifetimes, but in this timeline, you are who you are. Why not make it the best? You got to do a lot of things. That's a great thing.
No, definitely. I hear what you're saying. There's another question I have, and I'm just going to bring it in because I think this is something that it's just what I'm going through. So, as you know, I've gone through a lot of sexual stuff in my past.
Hmm.
Sexual, I've called it addiction, but we'll call it wildness, just without restraint, doing all kinds of different things. Some of it has felt like some of it was my exploration, some of it felt like it wasn't healthy. So my question is right now that some of that drive is still in me to just go bananas sexually and go out and explore and do all kinds of crazy things. And then there's another part of me that's like, wait a minute, no, a lot of that was painful for me. So I'm trying to find that balance and what's true to my soul. Um, and so I'm curious what spirit has to say for me, like in terms of like where that balance is for me, and like so I'm not suffocating myself because I don't want to suffocate myself in parts of me that need to be explored, and I also don't want to go out of control and hurt myself in the opposite direction. And I've been extreme in some of those, pull back and no, and suffocate, and then it builds, and then I
Find out. I'd like to talk to the spirit that handles people's sexualities and sexual desires and explorations and so forth. What is your counsel on the matter of what he is going through and what he's talking about? Okay, so here's what they said. They said a lot of the issues that you're dealing with when it comes to all the sexual things that you want to experience and do has a lot to do with the restraints that you're creating within yourself, within the judgments that you feel in the world, and the judgments you feel within yourself. These judgments are called restraints. And these restraints you're creating, and then you have this other part of yourself that goes, oh, you think you're going to judge me? You think you're going to restrain me? Well, watch what I can do,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Very rebellious.
Right? And that's a lot of reason why people have these sexual deviant behaviors. It's not, there's no judgment from God as long as you're not hurting yourself and hurting another person, and that there's a consensual awareness of it, and that you are being clear about what you're doing, the intentions, as well as the energy that you're receiving, the energy you're putting out. But it's also important to realize that are you doing it because you're using your empathic energy to pick up on all of the judgments that you feel about people have around sexuality and the desires and things that you feel that this conformity that people create on earth of what's a sin and what's not a sin. There is no judgment from God. Everything on this planet we're here to express and experience because we're eternal beings. That being said, it's also about what brings joy to you, what brings happiness to you, what brings fulfillment to you. And most importantly, they said, what makes you feel whole in your being.
Hmm.
If you are doing something where you feel that you are going to be in judgment of it later, because that means that you're only what you're actually doing is just working out your own internal judgments by doing these things,
Yeah.
right? And it's not about judgment from our mother and father God or the angels or the beings or whatever. There's nothing like that in our divine experience of the spiritual intelligence. What it's about is about you alchemizing these experiences to a place where it becomes real and where there's no part of your being that feels like I'm doing something wrong. Do you understand? Because even though when people do things where they hurt themselves in these types of behaviors, or they hurt another person, there is a part of their consciousness that knows, even though they may not choose to be fully cognitive of it,
Hmm.
that there's an imbalance
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Then that if you feel that, that means you're not in alignment to what is really real for you. I've had many experiences with women, with men, with different experiences in my life for the purpose of understanding how to take love to a level that transcends both the masculine and feminine bodies in the physical form and been open to many things. I think that what comes down to it is the degree of the part, like I said, what type of energies are you taking in and with whom and why? Because again, if you're going to share your body with anyone, it's best that you share your body with someone who's more consciously aware, because that means that they're aware of the energies they're sharing with you. If you're just sharing your energy with someone because there's a void and you want to take someone's energy, right? That's not in harmony. So what the spirits are saying is being aware of how you're utilizing energy, and also removing the restraints inside of you. What are the restraints inside of you that you're still creating that are demonstrating this feeling of I have to break through it, and the way I have to break through it is do something so completely off the chain,
Yeah.
off the wall. That way I can say nothing can control me. But it's not about control, right? Because the truth is nothing is really controlling you, only but yourself. Every judgment that someone has, like there's all these people on the planet who have issues with people who are gay. That's because they have issues with themselves, and they're
Hmm.
just projecting what they can't handle within themselves, right? And it's like we have to move beyond that self-criticism, that level of judgment, and ask ourselves, does this feel harmonious to me? Because if it does feel harmonious to you and you feel like you're getting good energy, and when you at the end of it you feel good about yourself, then it's your life, do what you want. But if you feel disgusted and whatever, that has nothing to do with the act. That has to do with your judgment, and has to do with the way you're thinking about it. And those are the things you actually have to transcend. It's not the thing you have to transcend on the outside. You have to transcend that on the inside.
No, and why, like where I was coming from when I did it, like, because I've had sexual experiences that felt like, oh fuck, thank God, that was amazing. Like part of me just got touched. Oh my goodness. And then I've had other ones where it's been hurtful, and on the other side, feeling like you just said, disgusted and pain. And I feel like I was doing it out of justice to somehow punish the church I grew up in that said that all these things were wrong. And so, like you said, the control to break out and say, fuck you, I'm going to do the wrong things as a way to demonstrate my freedom. And so it almost became like an addiction to the wrong thing. But
Yeah.
then left confused, like, well, what am I really turned on by? Is that true to me? Is that natural to my sexuality? Or is that just
There's no
a,
natural to your sexuality. We are by nature sensual sexual beings. What we put in our mind as how far we will go with that is each individual person's evolution and experience on earth, right? But when we remove these justifications that God won't love you, you'll go to hell, you're a sinner, you're all these things. These were all things that were manipulated and written in to manipulate and to control the original teachings that Jesus spoke about, which Jesus never really spoke about those things. It was more about being raped, and it was more about men, sodomizing and raping people
mhm.
unjustly, and young kids to be exact, was the true teachings. But what we have to understand is that sexuality is a natural aspect of our ability to feel, to sense, and to experience, right? And so when you feel something, like you said, you have to understand one key point, which is men, for instance, we have not had a lot of affection. Not saying all men have had this, but a great majority of men have not had affection towards with being with other men and feeling safe to have that affection without being called names and put down and looked at in a weird way, or all kinds of things that can transpire because of that, because men think that to be a man is not to have that level of connection. We are natural beings that are meant to have touch and connection and be held. If it's a man, if it's a woman, it doesn't matter. Again, it's your preference of what feels connected to you energetically, right? So to you have to what we have to look at is that these behaviors on the outside do not define you. What defines you is that you are we all by human beings are all sensual and sexual beings. And what defines you is what actually connects with you energetically, not from a place of, I have to break this wall down because I have that. That just means that you have these things inside that you are dealing with that have to be healed within the church, within the structures and the dogma that you've been fed, and the levels of judgment that you've placed upon those things in order to go and cross that threshold, not for the purpose of, but to the purpose of not being controlled, right? And so it's all control issues.
Hmm.
Really what we should be focusing on, in the future and so forth, because that's not something I'm going to go into a long thing here with doing healing on it, but control is a really big issue for a lot of people. And there is understanding of being in truth with yourself and authenticity. And then there's a place where you feel controlled and you want to break free. And that's where you see a lot of the sexual perversions on the planet, is because people feel judgment. And so they feel like they have to fight those judgments by doing the very opposite.
Doing, yeah,
Feel
flipping
that,
poles.
that's not authentic.
Yeah. No, and it's funny you say that because about men, because that's literally like I've been doing these meditations where I go in to hold myself, and literally I just the arms of a man. I just want a man to wrap his arms around me at times and just hold me, the masculine to hold me.
I get
Yeah.
it. I didn't have a father. My father didn't believe in any form of affection on that level.
Yeah.
And as I was growing up, I started seeking that from men to hold me and just be in that space with me. And I started asking a lot of my male friends if they would just hold me. Some of them thought I was crazy and weird, and other ones were like, "Yeah, I'll hold you." And I think that's important that we speak our truth of what we need so that the universe can provide it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the other difficulty in my life is my brother and I, we've been enmeshed in our relationship and codependent, and we both become aware of it. And so right now, what we've done is we just have separated, even though we're living in the same environment together. We've separated. We're just kind of keeping it light, not talking too much into pain and giving space. But I don't know if that's the right thing to do. And I feel conflicted at times
Let's
where it feels,
I'd like to talk to the part, the beings that support him, his family, their relationships, their hearts, their emotions, and their spiritual evolution. Is it in his highest good right now to be separated from his brother, or should they be together? They said you have to work out your differences when you choose to come from a place of non-judgment and see the person for who they are, not for who you want them to be.
so that would be then just working on myself and my perspectives, knowing
Hmm.
when it's
A
time
lot
to
of,
come in.
yeah, and
Yeah.
letting.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Shaman Durek.
I
Really
love you.
appreciate it.
It's a
Love you
pleasure.
too. Thank you.
Just hit the little.
Okay.
Okay. Love is acceptance. It is. And we have to love greater than the limitations that the world told us we have to love in. It's what makes things wonderful and beautiful and amazing. Um, so I just want to say that it's been a pleasure being here. I know I have to cut this short, unfortunately, because my wife has just finished making dinner and she just came in the room and was like, I have 2 minutes, so I'm not going to be able to take another person, but I will do another live this week. There she is knocking. So anyway, I just want to let you know that I'm here for you. I love you. I will come back on again this week and do another live. I'm sorry this live is a bit short. But again, when when the missus calls you, it's time for chow. You gotta meet her where she's at, right? Because she's cooking and I gotta be there to sit down and have dinner with her. So, um, I love you. And I'm grateful for you and I'm thankful for you. And we will do another live, and we'll bring more people up on stage to talk and share. And again, if you want to, you can check out the Shaman School if you want to elevate your energy. If you want to also go on to the Lit Vibe meditation and get activated in your powers. That's on Google and on Apple. We have webinars, and we also have the Healing Temple. We have a lot of great offerings to keep you lit and powerful and remembering how amazing you are. And I love you dearly. Mwah. Bye, sweethearts.